hold up. Stop what you're doing right now. Before y'all continue the context, you already know. Take some time right now. Subscribe to this channel. You get what I'm saying? And once you subscribe, click that notification bell so you can get that notification so you know when I'm here. Cause I'm here, you feel me? And for y'all who also want to help support your boy, you know what I mean, support the cause, all you gotta do is click in the description box below. There's 2 links. One link for if you want to donate monthly, you want to set it and forget it, you know what I'm saying, for a minimum of at least $2 a month. You could do more if you would like. Or if y'all want to do a one-time donation, there's another link. That's a PayPal link below. You know what I'm saying? You click that and you can donate as much as you want. You already know every single dollar is important. Every single dollar is appreciated. I appreciate y'all. Now, go right back into that context. It's True Talks. Because True Talks. Stay tuned, boy. What up, everybody? It's your boy Banks. And we back in the building, you feel me? It's True Talks. Cause True Talks. All right, let's get straight right into it. So I just want to say shout out to my listeners via podcast, via all the podcast platforms, and also to the YouTube viewership. I just want to appreciate y'all for tuning in. You feel me? Anyways, let's get straight right into it. Thank you for coming for that IQ, because that's what I do. Let's get it, man. So you already know it's definitely an uplifting type of podcast because we have the NBA season coming right back. Yeah, NBA season is back after a long hiatus. You already know we back, ready to groove, ready to get back into it. And, you know, resume play and just have everything moving, flowing, and just, you know, just getting back into the groove and just doing what elite looks like. You already know. So obviously we now have my podcast. This is the first episode 1 of the True Talk podcast, the TTP. You already know. Moving forward, we'll also have guests coming down and all of that type of stuff. But for now, you'll have some episodes where it's just me because you already know you come for that IQ because that's what I do. But there's also the YouTube viewership for if you want to see my actual reactions in my face as well. The podcast is available on YouTube. Also is available via audio through the podcast platforms, preferably through Anchor. And then obviously you got Spotify and etc. But I will still continue my breakdowns. My breakdowns will be only available via YouTube. It's not going to be because how could you be hearing my... hear all the moves and all the breakdowns and see the things. You can't see it through just the podcast. So you got to actually come to the YouTube channel to get that. So anyways, first things first, we want to get serious for a moment. I just want to say my prayers out to the George Floyd family, anybody who's related to him. And technically we all are related to him by just watching that gruesome video. That's probably the worst 8 minutes I've actually ever seen. Just watching someone actually have their knee on his neck and have him die slow. Atrocious. Like, are you serious? Just for what? While he's handcuffed, while he's basically detained? That's what we doing? And it's a shame and it's a sad thing to say that this is actually what has been happening for years and years and years. It's only being recorded now. That's the only difference. We thank God at least for that. But let's just be real and be honest that at the end of the day, we want justice for George Floyd. We want justice for all the other people that have been, you know, part of this type of violence, this type of hate crime, this type of police brutality. We don't want any of it moving forward. We already know that. And this time is a rough time. Obviously with coronavirus, we now have this and everybody's protesting. Everybody's trying to be heard. Everyone's in the streets and etc. Obviously it's just reckless and it's a sad time, but it's also a change in time. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Time is now to change everything. Obviously not yesterday, but some of y'all will be hearing this on Thursday. But Tuesday which was June 2nd, we had the blackout. And the blackout that we had was obviously a one day where you don't post anything with your flat tummy tea or your own podcast or your own, things and business ventures that you're doing and selfies. None of that shit. It was just basically a black photo just to, show that Black Lives Matter at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And it's important and it's good that the world did that. But I don't want us just to go back to what's regular schedule programming just after one day as if nothing is happening. Obviously, the protests, the looting, all these things that have been going on. Obviously, in the long run, you don't want to encourage violence. But at the end of the day, the time is now. Some things have to be done for immediate attention. Oh, you don't want to hear us? We've been crying out and been peacefully protesting for time. Trayvon Martin times. Oh, we can go way back. The mans are having the fact that the mans are having I Can't Breathe shirt in 2014. NBA players are wearing it, I Can't Breathe, and you can have the same shirt relevant 6 years ago. That's just take that in. That's crazy, man. That's actually crazy. Like, that shows you nothing has changed. So obviously that's why people are enraged. That's why people are going ham and just doing destruction. We don't even want to get into a deeper dive onto who's actually starting it, because, the black people obviously aren't even actually starting it. We've seen footage of the cops and all this type of stuff, but we're not even going to go into that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to spend too much time onto this, because this will be a never ending deep dive in a cycle that we could go into, and it'll be a 2-hour, 5-hour podcast. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I just want to let people know that I'm not silent. If you follow me on my IG, you already know I be posting. You know what I'm saying? I'm not silent. I'm not one of those guys. I see some people that are just silent because they have ties with a lot of these people who own businesses. You know what I'm saying? And they have to be silent because it's going to affect their coin. And that's a atrocious mentality that us as black people have been having for a long time. Don't get it twisted. That we got to stem away from that. But anyways, like I was saying, the looted and all those things for an immediate action to see something happen. Let them know that enough is enough. But at the end of the day, it doesn't stop there. Obviously, we're doing peaceful protests now. That's good. That's correct. That's the good thing. But to see immediate change, I wish. Anyways, before I even talk about that, to see immediate change, we need to do things smart. We need to bind and come together as a community. Enough of the violence amongst each other. That the real fight is this. Support our black-owned businesses. You know what I'm saying? Go find it. Go on Instagram. There's all types of profiles and people who actually have pages where they support the black-owned businesses. You can actually go and find it out. Who are those guys? Get your groceries from there. Get your items from there. Get your products from there. You get what I'm saying? Build us together. Build us so we don't need them. That's what it is, because at the end of the day, we're consumers. They're laughing at us. So why would they change if their coins aren't affected? They don't care about us. Clearly, they're killing our lives. They don't care about us. You know what I'm saying? They only care about us when the money changes. They don't care about us, or they wouldn't be killing us in the first place. They wouldn't be profiling us in the first place. Killing us for what? Mans be doing mass shootings. White people be doing mass shootings and doing reckless stuff, and mans get Burger King in the bin. Mans get arrested. Only time they shoot them, or they don't even shoot them. They have to take their own lives. They commit suicide. Without the committed suicide, they just get arrested and get in handcuffs, and they're just no bruises, no nothing. With mass shootings, mans are just a forged check, light things, allegedly, and mans are dying for that. Just walking, pulling over, stopping your car, hands on the wheel, with kids in the back, getting shot, jogging, putting a hoodie on, just walking down the street, etc. The list goes on. So I didn't want to get into a whole deep dive about that. You know what I'm saying? But I have to let it be known that I support us. You know what I'm saying? For us, by us, FUBU. Where did you go, man? This is basically what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I just want y'all to support black-owned businesses, support us, build us up. Obviously, we go for the designers, the name brands. Make us a name brand. That's what we need to do. And those are the long-term effects, the long-term changes y'all could do to make these things happen, so it's not just a little, what's it called? Basically, just put up black pictures for the one day. No, go deeper than that. Continue this movement. Change it for the long haul. And not only that, the last point I'll make is that this time is a perfect time, which I wish the players would just sacrifice winning a ring, sacrifice their individual accolades, sacrifice some of the money, because y'all are high up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all players, obviously it's easy just to say than do, but our black mentality of just consuming and, dog eat dog world, let me get mine and get out, it's through oppression that's the reason why we have that mentality. Let's be real. But we got to break from that cycle. We need to, as the players, these elite players, athletes, this is the perfect time, because coronavirus, even Trump said it himself. This is the time where they need sports to come back to boost the economy, etc., etc. Hit their pockets right now. Don't come back, y'all. Even though I want us to come back, and my business technically is doing basketball, and it'll affect me if y'all stop. But I don't care about that shit if mans are dying. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, we got to understand what the hierarchy is. If mans just say, you know what, y'all need us the time now, y'all need us the most now, out of all seasons, out of all times, money wise, business wise, you know what? We ain't coming back until we're boycotting the season. All the elite players, LeBrons, all these guys. And this is not just a knock to say that, oh, they don't do stuff in the community. No. I want y'all to do what Cap did. Sacrifice it all. Start our own league. That's where it starts from. Oh, y'all boycott and just be like, you know what? We ain't coming back till we see immediate change in the justice system. I promise you they'll have to adhere to us. I promise you. We have power. We just don't use it right. There's certain things we don't have power in. There's things that we have power in because we're the entertainment. We're the athletics. You know what I'm saying? We're the ones who had the culture. They eat off our culture. Pause it. Stop it. I'm not coming back, y'all. I'm not coming back. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing none of this. Forget that. Until this change, until all those cops are arrested, until this, until that, I promise you, the pockets are hurt. They're gonna do something. That's immediately. But then that's just one day. That's just, I wish and I hope for that to happen one day. As much as it'll stop the season and there's no elite breakdowns, I just wish one day we could do that. But anyways, I didn't mean to go into a rabbit hole with that, but I have to let it be known. I go in a rabbit hole with everything else, but this is the one that matters the most. So I'm gonna do that. And let y'all know. At the end of the day, black is what elite looks like. We're all what elite looks like. But at the end of the day, we're dying. None of that all lives matter shit. We're dying. Black lives matter right now. It's been. And y'all ignore it. Anyways, I apologize. I'm not apologizing. Forget that shit. I'm not apologizing. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't mean to go in a whole spiel with that. But at the end of the day, it's well over. It's long overdue. I didn't even go into this. I left a lot out. But we're going to move past that. So again, my prayers up for the George Floyd family. I just want to thank, man, a guy like Steven Jackson, Stack. That boy is, man, he's just controlling and just, he has a large part to do with what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, everybody that is affected by watching that video, everybody that just has an attachment and has anger issues according to these things that obviously are going on, that is atrocious and that is, you know, ungodly and basically something that shouldn't be happening. You know what I mean? That's something that I just want to appreciate y'all for, you know, going out there in the streets, treating, you know, basically putting your hands down and just getting it done. Obviously, there's people within that are using this to exploit and to do this looting and just go ham and steal stuff that have nothing to do with the actual cause. We don't condemn you. You know what I'm saying? We don't take you in. You know what I'm saying? But the real ones, I appreciate y'all. Now, let's move forward to this elite time. Like I said, I wish they would stop this for the George Floyd and just Black Lives Matter purposes, but they're going to continue the season. And again, content-wise, this is what elite looks like. We got the NBA season coming back, you know what I'm saying? And when we look at it, a lot of people are confused about the rules and the stipulations and regulations and what's going on with the plane and all this type of stuff and all these things. So I'm here to give you context. Because I give you that context, all right? So let's go straight right into that. So basically, Woj has reported that Thursday, which if you probably will be hearing this by Thursday, they basically are going to confirm and going to approve the votes, you know what I'm saying, to restore the season and resume it and under the guidelines of these rules. So the season should start, I think they said July 31st, it should start. And the last possible date, if the games go to a 7th game, whatever the finals, game 7, last possible date would be October 12th, which is a long time. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, also too, pause. People are thinking, is it a 5-game series? Is it 7? Are they changing the series? My assumption is if they were changing series lengths and how the duration of the series are, they would have said it. But the fact they didn't say it and they said to resume the playoffs, it means the playoffs is probably most likely, I would say 90 to 95% sure. I'll say I'm certain it's going to be the exact same format that it's been because they only give information about new things. If it's not new, they're going to say, you know, it's just resume playoffs. So the playoffs is a 7-game format like it's always been, a 7-game playoff series. You know what I'm saying? Which is why it would go longer to October 12th. They might change the rest days. They might change how often you play in a row, whatever the case they might do to, you know, to push and make the season, make the playoffs go faster to get to the October 12th date. They might, you know, however they give you space might be different, but it's going to be a 7-game series. All right. So we get that out the way. So now when we look at it, Woj obviously reported that the board of governors, Adam Silver and everybody has basically, co-signed and agreed to restoring the season under these guidelines. And let's see what's going to happen in the format. What's going to happen. So basically they're going to have 22 teams to play in Disney's ESPN Wide World of Sports complex in July. So what that is, obviously, like I said, the bubble they're going to create for the Raptors. I said Raptors for everybody to play in Orlando. You know what I'm saying? And I think they're going to play at like they said here, the World Water Sports Complex. They don't want to play at the Amway Arena in Orlando because, again, they don't want to give an advantage to anyone. They want to have a neutral playing field, a neutral ground. You know what I'm saying? So it's just basically looking like Summer League type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's going to stay at Disney. They're going to create all the players to live there and chill out there. Now, that's the different echelon that we're going to be when the time comes. Is LeBron gonna, Kawhi, come to my room real quick, throw man's off? Are they gonna be doing that? We don't know. Are they, how's it gonna go? Are man's gonna be playing chess? Or is it gonna be an MJ story? This could be history. This could be what elite looks like. Or, you know what I'm saying? Obviously not play golf, but are we gonna play cards and I whoop your ass and now you get mad at me? You know what I'm saying? Are we gonna, we're all in the same building now. You know what I'm saying? So like, how is it gonna move? You know what I'm saying? So that's another conversation for a different day. But so like we looking at here is gonna include the playoff teams, so all 8, so that's 16 teams. You got 8 in the West, 8 in the East are included in these 22 teams, and then the last 6 spots are basically given to the teams that are outside of the playoffs, but within a 6 games back window. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. So if you look, that we only have in the East, it's only the Washington Wizards. They're 5.5 games back. The Charlotte Hornets are 7 games back, so they're out the 6-game window. So it's only the Washington Wizards. Then we look at in the West. We got the Portland Trailblazers. They're 3.5 games back. Pelicans, 3.5 games back. Kings, 3.5 games back. Spurs, 4 games back. And the Phoenix Suns are the last team. They're 6 games back. So that's 6 teams total. You got how much? You got 5 extra in the West. And you got 1 more extra in the East, other than the 8 playoff teams for both conferences. So that's what we're looking at. And then those 22 teams that I mentioned, now they're all going to have an 8 regular season game format. They're just going to play 8 regular season games. Now, I don't know if they're going to finish how they're going to go in the schedule and just make sure, okay, your last 8 that you're playing, are those all with the teams that are included in the 22? And if not, or they're going to just make a random 8-game schedule. I don't know how they're going to do that. They didn't give us information about that, but I'm pretty sure that this is just kind of a format regulation type of issue that they're going out with, where they're trying to just confirm what the format is and the structure of everything. Now the loose ends and the logistics and aesthetics of all these certain things, they'll obviously probably clear up more when things get finalized within the day-to-day basis and behind the scenes work. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, like I said, 8 regular season games, then it's a potential playing tournament to determine the playoff field. So you have to listen to what Woj said. This is not going to tell you exactly what that potential play-in tournament means. You know what I'm saying? So when it means potential play-in tournament, technically it's not really a play-in tournament. It is, but it's not really. You know what I'm saying? What they're actually doing is they're going to have, so whoever's at the end of the 8 games, right? 22 teams play. All these teams are playing. At the end of 8 games, you have it where there's a 9th seed, right? So everyone else who's not 9th seed, well, in the East is guaranteed there's going to be a 9th seed. We just don't know who it is, right? So you have a 9th seed. Let's say Washington moves to 8, Orlando's 9th, or the Nets fall because no Kyrie, no KD. They drop to 9th, whatever. In the West, you have it where, let's say Portland goes to 8, Grizzlies go to 9. We don't know. But whatever the case is, you have the 9th seed. If the 9th seed, whoever is in the 9th seed position, is 4 games back from the 8th seed, you're now eligible to have a play-in game. That's what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to be eligible to have a play-in game. So let's say you have the 9 on the East, 9 on the West. They're both 4 games or less behind the 8th seed. Now they're going to have an elimination game, the 9th versus the 8th. The 9th versus the 8th in each conference. And the 9th has to beat the 8th 2 times. And the 8th only has to beat the 9th 1 times. So if they play a game 1 and the 8th seed beats the 9th seed in both conferences, okay, done. We guaranteed our 8th spot. We done. 1 day rest. Now we're going to do playoffs. You know what I'm saying? But if the 9th seed is, let's say, beats the first game, and then, you know what I mean? The 9th seed has to win twice, basically, to eliminate the 8th seed and get the 8th spot. The 8th seed just has to win once. It's just an advantage for them because you have to give them the respects, give them their due diligence for earning and winning the 8th seed. They have to get an advantage over the 9th seed. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is, and I'm okay with that. I thought they would do a playing tournament for like the 9th to 12th, but they don't want to reward people who are out of that position at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So they might clarify, and what I think they're doing is they're just doing a test for the play-in. They don't want to go full out in a play-in tournament, and it's not even respected, or it's not even engaging. It's just fugazi. That could deter people from watching it. You want to do a little bit of a nugget here. Let me just try this little thing here, and then we'll see whether, based off the engagement, based on the likes, based off everything, we'll see if we actually should continue this for a real, actual, structure, implement type of change moving forward. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. So here's a little bit, just ninth and 8th seed. You know what I'm saying? That's what they doing. So we could see that's where the format is. So that's not really explained within those things you're reading. You have to have listened to what Woj has said, and Woj said it on ESPN, and that's where I got the information from. I didn't know that just by reading. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just giving you all that IQ, giving you that context, giving you that IQ, because that's what I do. You feel me? So we move forward from that, and basically that's what Elite looks like. So that's the format that we're going to be having. Now, again, who is going to make those spots? Now, there's 8 games. So maybe it's not just finding out who's going to be in the 8th seed. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that are going to correct and going to make the 8-game format be a reason for, a reason why you implement it. It's going to be a perfect reason. The reason why the 8-game format has a lot of benefits is simply because, one, you get a lot of rust out. Remember, you had a hiatus for 2-3 months? July 31st, they're obviously doing one-on-one training right now. They're not doing training camp type of training until it's solidified, but they're doing right now. The gyms have been opened up for them to do individual workouts, limited to 2 or 3 players, whatever it is, because of coronavirus. Right? So now they're going to obviously do the training camp process, whatever. But that 8-game format is basically the first 2 games of kind of exhibition, get the rotations back, get the chemistry back, get the spots, plays, etc., get the movement, the kinks, get the WD-40 out, you know what I'm saying? Spray the rust off, you know what I'm saying? That's what that 8 games is for, so the playoffs could be elite. Because if you just started with playoffs, like I said before, there's the rust, injury risk, a lot of things could be fugazi. But this 8 games, now it's not just 8 games. It's competitive for the 2 seed who wants to try and get the 1 seed. You know what I'm saying? The Raptors want to try and catch the Bucks. The Clippers want to try and catch the Lakers. The Clippers don't want to be the 2nd or 3rd seed because if the Lakers or they don't want to be the 4th seed because if the Lakers are 1st, they have to be the 2nd and 3rd to meet them in the conference finals. They don't want to meet them earlier. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stories and a lot of things happening, underlying factors happening within this 8 games that you could kind of now see what's going on. Teams want to get their groove and they'll be a well-oiled machine going into the playoffs. Now you have that factor because that's the whole important factor in the regular season is the team that kind of ends the season off the strongest, 6-game winning streak, 8-game with that groove, they have a stronger playoffs as opposed to people who kind of are rusty and kind of fugazi. So now you can get that momentum, get those certain things going back for you. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that the 8-game format definitely gives a benefit to and kind of corrects and kind of helps when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of other things as well. There's little things. There's like, okay, is Dame going to will his team to the playoffs? Is Melo going to be able to get the 8th seed? Oh, what if they come correct and they go ham? They maybe win 7 out of 8 with Nurkic coming back and Zach Collins. Oh, now Memphis drops to 10th. Oh, they're out. Is Zion going to get the 9th? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of little things. Now, matchup wise, that 8 games, because remember, these windows aren't that far apart between these games of the teams in the playoffs. The matchups might change. That 8 game to kind of force what kind of matchup they want to play in the first round, especially in the West that matters because the 6th, 7th seed could beat the 2nd, 3rd, whatever seed. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, Dallas is the 7th seed and they can definitely beat the 2nd seed. Let's say the Clippers. Obviously, I don't think they'll beat them, but it's not like it's an easy battle. You got Luka, you got these guys, Porzingis, well-oiled machine. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of these changes that could happen. So I like this 8-game format. That's what I was saying before on my previous episode on YouTube, previous video. And I was trying to show y'all, this is what Elite looks like. Y'all were, a lot of these guys on social media were roasting Dame. Then what does the NBA do? They adhere to what Dame says. Clearly, he's not being dumb. He's speaking what he's speaking for a reason. I try to tell y'all, man's been playing chess out here. Like this era, you could force things by just speaking up. Just say, I won't do that shit. And I promise you they won't do that shit if they really value you. You know what I'm saying? So like at the end of the day, like I knew this format was kind of coming. I just didn't know the kind of the way they were going to do the play-in, I didn't really know that too much. But the way they did the play-in, I kind of like it now because it's not excessive. It's not like I was saying before. You had the 9th to 12th, the 8th to 12th seed. The 8th seed is waiting in the finals, the 9 and 12, and you do kind of like elimination. It could be too many games. It could lead on to too many days. The 9th versus 8th is just a test. You have max 3 games. Because if the 9th wins the first one and the 8th wins the second one, no, actually I lied. You have a max of 2 games. What kind of IQ is that? I'm tripping. You have a max of 2 games because if the 9th wins the first one, the second game is do or die for both teams because the 8th only needed to win 1. You know what I'm saying? So you have a max of 2 games. If the 9th was to win 2 games, that's the max. If the 8th was to win the first one, it's done in 1 game. If the 8th to win the second one, it's done in 2 games. If the 9th to win the second one, it's done in 2 games. So that's kind of like the IQ of how it's going. They want a max of 2 games, which would be 2 days. Maybe a back-to-back. It's not a long stretch, 4 days, 3 days, whatever, before you start the playoffs. So, because you don't want to give them too much rest already when they already had 3 months of rest for the other guys. You know what I'm saying? So I like this format. I like it. I told you, Adam Silver is going to make the best decision. He's always going to do that. I trust Adam Silver, man. He's a player's coach, player's executive, player owner type of guy. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely like what they're doing moving forward. So we'll see how it goes. That's just kind of like the explanation of everything, the explanation of, you know, just seeing how we're coming back as NBA season. Now, this is what Elite looks like at the end of the day. We're going to do future videos and future podcasts where in the future coming up where we're going to talk about the 8 teams, the seedings, the matchups, etc. Obviously, we'll do a more closer to the end where we actually have a solidified type of matchup where we see these are the playoff teams, this is the play-in, and we talk about the matchups and what my predictions are. But for now, I can't really predict nothing until I see how mans are moving. Did the rest help Kawhi? Did the rest hurt Kawhi? Did the rest help LeBron? Did the rest hurt LeBron? Did the rest help, the teams that kind of were not really fully chemistry-wise? They weren't fully on the same level like the Clippers, but they had elite individual talent. This might help them, and it might hurt the Lakers who had a lot of good chemistry, and now you kind of just stop the momentum, and now they got to recalibrate and come back. Does that help them? Yeah, there's a lot of things there's a lot of things. Does this break help Pascal? Does he now go, you know what? Let me work on a 1-2 so I'm ready when that moment comes. Does it help the guys like Tatum? There's a lot of questions, a lot of things to be answered. Does it help the Pelicans? There's a lot of things, man, and I'm definitely excited for the NBA season. Definitely we get these videos back, these breakdowns. Like I said, moving forward, I'm going to be having every video I do is going to be a podcast episode of TRU Talks, except for when it's a breakdown. When you see a picture of a player with the breakdown, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely just going to be only accessible on YouTube. But when it's when you see the TRU Talks podcast, that's when it's a podcast and you can get it on the platforms like I said before, or you could wait for it and watch it via YouTube. It's up to you, right? That's what we're going with. We're going to improve and get better. We definitely getting on up. The TTP, the TRU Talks podcast, episode 1. This is what Elite looks like. I'm definitely going to have guests coming on in the future, not too long from now. We're going to get this debate and we're going to get this argument. We're going to get these punches thrown, these jabs. You get what I'm saying? You're going to see me in my element. You feel me? Anyways, like I said, share, like, and subscribe. It's TRU Talks. Because TRU Talks, you already know. We out here. There's no doubt here and there's no drought here. Oh, man. It's what Elite looks like. Like I said again, rest in peace to George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. The list goes on. Black Lives Matter. And I'm out, man.